And rarely does that ever happen. It becomes a frustrating process, and it becomes confused. Because it opened it up, yeah. But it also is exacting a price for doing that. You understand what I'm saying? There's a price there to be paid. And it comes in the, Don Juan said it a lot. That there's a big price to be paid for the datura, right? For the peyote, for the little smoke. There's a price extracted for that in your well-being, in your physical well-being. So the best way, the way I did is I did it for a while, and then I realized that, wow, I could actually go further than this takes me. And when I hit that spot, I was done. I said, I'm done. I'm just done. And so it was interesting because all it really does is it moves your energy in a certain way that causes certain things to happen. And then you see how that's going down, and you can start doing that yourself, right? And then you realize that the mechanism for the shifting of consciousness from, say, a normal state of awareness to a heightened state of awareness, it's just an energetic shift within, right? And it has a lot to do with behavior, and it has a lot to do with mind. So I did that for a while. And then had this really amazing experience. And then the next day had basically what I consider a nervous breakdown. I saw the shit I was. I saw all my inconsistencies. I saw all my bad thoughts about myself, the way I mismanaged any information I got, how I could be manipulative, how I basically I saw everything about me I didn't like. And it created this wave of emotion that took me over, and I was basically in a ball, sobbing for about 2 days, just not knowing what's happening. Because it was a big shift for me. And when that happened, I realized I couldn't live where I was at anymore. I needed to go somewhere. I needed to move. So I told Jan we were married at that point. And she came home and found me like that. Just I was realizing what a dick I was. Fully. Not just skimming the surface. No, fully. What a dick. What a complete non-human bestial jerk-off I was. Right? And that floored me. And she came and found me in that. I looked up at her and said, I can't live in California anymore. I just can't do it. I have to go somewhere else. I have to do something else. And so, how did I end up here? I mean, I've lived here pretty much the whole time, minus a couple of years in the Four Corners. But up in this area, I've lived here, a good 15 years. I got here by closing my eyes and, all right, where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? And bam! And it landed on Woodland Park. So I ended up here in Colorado. I followed it. There was a lot behind that. There was a lot of this movement, right? Because I was not running from what a dick I was anymore. I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was going to look at it. I was going to deal with it. I was going to figure out what caused it inside of myself, and I was going to be free of it. Free of that demon that runs amok inside of me. I didn't want it anymore. Right? So moved to Colorado. That was my first big drastic step, which really isn't one, but it is. And and I ended up here, and I ended up going to a bookstore in Woodland Park to buy a book. And the lady's like, hey, we have this medicine circle. I'm like, what's a medicine circle? And she was telling me about it. Right? And I met this lady fire dancer through there. She was probably 56, 57. She was Nez Perce, I think. You don't get honest answers out of Indians. Sorry, you just don't. You never do. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like they're trying to deceive you. It's just that, hey, you ain't stealing my thunder. My thunder's mine. You want to steal some thunder, go steal your own. That's just how they are. So they're never really factual, right? 'Cause
can't nail them down.
No, you can't. No, I've never met one. You could. Ever. So, and I not like I was really trying. But I watched people try it. It never worked out too well. I mean, those that really have their act together. I mean, I'm not just saying just Native Americans. That's just the people I hung out with. Those were the people I was around. And Fire Dancer was a potent woman. I mean, very potent. I could see that she had an understanding of this energetic this spiritual, energetic kind of thing that's going on that we're all, people are trying to get through. I saw that she had a handle on it that I didn't. So I started buying her groceries and chopping her wood, right? Driving her wherever she needed to go. Driving people that she knew wherever they needed to go. I pretty much did that. We moved out here when I was 22, going on 23. So that's what I started doing at 23, 22, 23. Chopping wood, carrying water for old people, basically. Indian. They were also, all of them were Native American. I mean, I never met anyone in that circle who wasn't, right? And they weren't people who lived around there. They were people. It was like an underground railroad, if you will. And her house was just one of the way stations when you were in that area. That's where you went, right? And so I got to meet a lot of people like this guy Sunday Morning Star, and I'm sure he reminded me a lot of Carlos, actually, a lot. There was a lot of the similarities there, the lifestyle, just the real way of being incognito. He had that same kind of quality, and he was amazing too. I mean, showed me a medicine wheel, and I always thought, well, a medicine wheel is like stones on the ground. Not when there's a higher state of consciousness behind it. It's a completely different thing. It's like, what is that? I mean, you just feel this it's almost like someone dropped an energy generator in the middle of the room. You just feel it coming off of it. It's very amazing, very amazing. And I met several people through her. There was one guy, his name was Joseph Heightley. He lived down in Mancos. And he was a Sioux medicine man. He was like 85. Old guy, old guy. And he scared me to death. I mean, he was really spooky. I don't know why I felt that way around him. No one else did, but I did. Because I was still young, still figuring it out. And I walked in the door. He's got this eagle spread out on a wall, right? It's just the wings, the talons, and the skull are all, because it was dead, but all spread out on this wall. And I'm looking at it, and it's huge. It's like, wow, he's like, yeah, Wallace Black Elk gave that to me. So, and that was his instructor, was Wallace Black Elk. This guy was amazing. He did a wedding. He married some friends of mine, right? They knew him, and then I met him. So, we were all kind of in that same thing. We were down in Mancos. They were getting married, and he's performing the ceremony. And their name is Ron and Karen, right? And he comes up to him. He's like, so how do I dress for this? Do you want me to dress in my traditional gear, or do you want me to put on a suit and a tie? Because he was going to perform the ceremony. And they're like, grandfather, you can show up any way you like. Right? So he shows up. He's in the full medicine man regalia. I mean, the headdress and the whole thing. And it's beautiful. I mean, wow, I had never seen anything like it. And it's just glowing. Right? And he has a pair of black shoes. Like, bought it, a shoe store here. Not moccasins, black shoes. It looked really kind of interesting. And he's standing there, really, really regal. Just to have that, that presence that you knew. Respect. I mean, that's what you pay that. I mean, there's no one who couldn't. You know what I mean? It hits you so hard, you respect that. And so he's performing this ceremony, and they took a picture of it. And when they developed that picture, you didn't see him. There was a light and a pair of black shoes sticking out of it. Right where his feet would be, there's the shoes, and then this giant light. And that's what I captured, and that's what everybody was feeling. It was that intensity. See, that's how I think, it stays safe. You can't misuse it. It's impossible to misuse, because if you go at it from from an intent of misusing it, you don't ever see it. You know what I mean? So it keeps it safe.
It doesn't even exist in that state, at that level.
No, that's for people who've punctured the ceiling. They've gotten, they're beyond what's physical and mental. Right? They're getting a handle on what's emotional. As they're getting up into the top of that, they're beginning to see that there is this spiritual presence that is emanating, and it's causing everything. And that linking with that is a sense of well-being that they are looking for. There it is. What that means, it's probably different for everybody. For some, that means, they